Hello, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to give you one simple tip if you're a one-handed backhand hitter that's really going to help you hit more power and control. Now, first, I want to show you a side-by-side comparison of Grigor Dimitrov and Dominic Thiem. Now, this concept is very simple, and in order to understand it, just pay attention to their left hand. Their left hands are going to stay on the racket as it drops. I know that the one-hander is called a one-hander, but it's two-handed for the majority of the swing prior to contact. They take the racket back. You can see the tip of the racket is pointing up. For both of them, strings are facing off to the side. Love that their left elbow is the same height as their left hand. That actually helps keep the racket very vertical. And that's really essential for hitting a consistent backhand. But check this out. They drop the racket down with both hands. This is actually what I call hitting a 1.5-hander. It's a little bit of a joke, but it actually gets people thinking the right way. Most recreational players I see on a daily basis hitting a one-hander let go with their top hand at the top of the swing. It's important for being able to stay sideways and being able to use the left hand as a counterbalance to drop with both hands, and you'll actually notice that they both have their left hand in front of them. So a lot of recreational players at this point, their left hand is already way behind them, and it's no longer a counterweight, and it swings forward. I'm going to show you this when I'm back in front of the camera. What they do is they actually bring their left hand toward contact. Look at Grigor. Look at Grigor's left hand go toward contact. And you can see Dominic Thiem doing the same thing. Dominic Thiem's left hand is going toward contact. At this point, that's when it's going to start going back. And that's when it becomes a counterweight. You can see their left hand going back. But I want you to think of the one-handed backhand as a 1.5-hander, where you take the racket back with both hands, drop with both hands, and instead of thinking, oh, I just hit with one, almost feel like there's still a half a hand on the racket. That's kind of the joke. And then, yes, you let go before you strike the ball, but the left hand dropped and came slightly forward, and then it starts going back. So what we just saw was clear, that the pros, that Dimitrov and Dominic Thiem, were not letting go at the top, which is a major problem for recreational players. They turn for their one-handed backhand, left elbows up or back elbows up, strings are facing off to the side, and then as their racket dropped, they dropped with both hands. Recreational players, you see this all the time, they let go at the top. That's a big problem because now your non-hitting hand, your backhand, your left hand if you're right-handed, can't become a counterweight. When you hit the one-handed backhand, you want your arms going apart. The only way they can go apart is if they're close together, right? So you've got to drop them so that they're close together, then the arms can go apart. The faster this arm goes back, the faster the racket can go. When my arms go apart, my body stays sideways, so my racket tracks out toward my target for a longer time, so I have a longer hitting zone and I'm more accurate. Dropping the racket with both hands, and this is why I call it hitting with a 1.5-hander, right? It's almost like you still have a half a hand on. It's a feeling and it's a concept that gives people the idea of what it should feel like when they're hitting the one-handed backhand. So film yourself from the back, hitting one-handed backhands, and see when you are letting go. Are you letting go up here, which is then going to allow you to open up? Or are you dropping the way you just saw the pros? Are you dropping, then going apart? Turn, drop, then go apart. You want to feel like you are almost going to hit the ball with two hands, and then just before you let go, if you start keeping your non-hitting hand on the racket almost all the way up to contact, then separate. You'll get more power, more control. There's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.